Alright guys, time for a little ViperSharp FAQ. I've had several requests for certain videos and explanations on things, so we're going to do an FAQ series. So we're going to start it off with stone selection. This was a question put to me: what stone should I use for a novice? So we're going to talk about different stones for different jobs, different knives. So we'll give you an idea of that. So stick around with me. Hit that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. Let's jump into it and learn a little bit about the different ViperSharp stones. Alright guys, thanks for sticking around and smashing that subscribe and like button. Let's get into this and talk a little bit about sharpening, shall we? So I have laid out here a series of, well, basically everything that is currently offered from ViperSharp. So we have the 3/4 inch ceramic stones that, or vitrified man-made stones available here. We have the 1 inch, so same stones but in a 1 inch wide option right there. And we have the diamond stones right over here, which are also 1 inch wide. We have the strop, which comes with every kit, and then we have the lapping film and the lapping plate with the different lapping films. What you see here is the 5 micron silicon carbide, 9 micron diamond, and the pink, which is on here, is the 3 micron diamond. And so those are the, and there are a few other lapping film options, but those are what you're seeing here. Now, the first thing that you need to think about with deciding what stone you're going to start with, and I think that's the question that I'm addressing here, if I understand it right, is you know, what stone should I use, or what should I start with? Part of that depends on the knife steel that you are sharpening and the how beat up the blade is, how much work you need to do. So if you are trying to resharpen a, well, let's just say you're trying to put a razor sharp edge on a butter knife. If you're trying to put a razor sharp edge on a butter knife, then you might want to start with an 80 grit ceramic or vitrified stone, or with the diamond kit, 250 is pretty aggressive. But you're going to have to work a bit because it's a knife that doesn't have an edge. So if you have an edge on your knife, if you don't have an edge on your knife, rather, if you have a blade that is so beat up and abused that it won't cut paper, then you're going to need to start with something very aggressive. Okay, so this is stainless steel blade here, and it's pretty sharp. That's factory edge right there. So brand new blade, and it's not bad. If we wanted to get it to where it's shaven here, and it's almost there, it's cutting a few, but if we wanted to just polish up that edge a little bit, we don't need to start with an aggressive stone. With something like that, we could start with a 400, go to 600 and 1200. And you could even jump from 400 right to 1200, and then do your lapping film. So with a blade that just needs a little bit of touch up, all we need to do is jump to one of the higher grits. One thing that will be important to note here is the difference between the vitrified stones and the diamond stones. Now, first thing is, let's clarify, none of these are actually stones. If they had used, you know, that terminology comes from the day when that's all we had, and there was, you know, we didn't have the technology that we have today. We just picked up a stone and sharpened on it. So the natural stones, Arkansas stones, for example, are a great stone, especially for polishing, but that's where the term comes from. So what we're talking about here are technically not stones, but that's what we're going to call them. All right, so if we want to do something real aggressive, we got a real beat up knife, then we might start, if we're using the ceramic and we're working on, say, a stainless steel type of a blade, then we might just go with an 80 grit to get us started. Okay. If we're working on something that is a little higher end steel, this one is VG10, and then over here we have S30V. Both of those are a little bit harder steel to work with, and so they're going to take a little bit longer to cut through the metal and get the edge that you want. So that's where we look at the difference between our vitrified options and the diamond options. The vitrified are going to do fine with average steel, softer steel, stainless steels, a lot of your kitchen knives, budget pocket knives. You're going to do just fine with these stones. But if you take a S30V and you try and put a hair popping edge on that thing with these stones, you're in for a bit of frustration. It's going to take a long time because they just don't cut those harder steels. The steel is such that it will last longer. It has more endurance than most of our softer options, and so it's going to take a little longer for the stones to cut through them. And the harder the steel, the longer it will take. So sometimes it could be quite a bit longer. And so that's why diamond is a great option. If you have S30V, if you have D2, hardened D2 tool steel, Aus 8, especially the powder steels, and we're going to be looking at the need for diamond with the work that you do. And they'll cut through any of these steels that you have. Now, again, if you have a very hard steel, then it's still going to take a little while to get the edge where you want it, but diamond will do it a lot faster than the ceramic will. Once you've got your edge, and basically what I would suggest, and you'll see this in any of my videos where I talk about the burr or sharpening in general, get the burr created with your 250 on the diamond, for example, and create that burr so that you can feel that catching. And I've got a video on that. You can go watch my video on creating a burr in my channel so that you can get an understanding of that. But you want to create that burr all the way along the blade from tip to heel. That makes sure that you're getting all the way to the edge, to the micro edge of your knife. And then once you've done that on one side, you're going to flip the knife over and do the same thing on the other side. All right. So that way you're getting to creating a burr. You're making sure that you're going all the way to the edge on both sides of your blade before you move up with the higher stones. And then basically after that, you're going to take a few passes with the coarse stone to remove that burr on each side. And so then you're just basically refining. All you're doing is clearing up those micro serrations that are on the steel as you move up with each stone, okay, or each grit. Once you have gotten to the point, and you can get a knife just with the coarse to cut very well. You know, that's utility sharp. It's going to cut your steak and most food items. It's going to cut paper pretty well. If you want to refine that to cut very, very smooth and you want to be splitting hairs, then you want to move up to these other stones. Now, of course, if you're sharpening a straight razor and you want to use that to actually shave the hair off your skin, then we're going to take it up a notch. That's where we want to get into the strop to clean up some of the micro serrations. You can put some compound on there if you want to get compound for the strop, or you can go to the lapping films and get that that edge to a mirror polish. So you can actually create a mirror polished edge on those blades with the ViperSharp and the lapping films that are available. So you can see that there. I have done, I think I did just a 9 micron on this one here. So that way you can get an edge that will shave hair nice and smooth and give you ultimate sharpness. So I hope that clarifies what stones to use, and if there are more questions and you want more clarification, post it in the comments and let me know, or send me an email, post on Facebook, so that I have more understanding of things that you'd like to see, and I'll get it out there. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.